Welcome to the North American Golden Domers for Sunday, August 24th, 2025. I am Roggie, live here from North Bend, Toronto, Canada. I'm about to introduce the panel tonight, and we start with Albany, New York. Andy, how are you, my friend?
Rog, I'm doing great. Happy to be here with you guys. It's always an exciting time. 1 week from today, we will be in the beginning of the season.
Very, very exciting times. I can sense the energy tonight. I sense that it's going to burst through the screen. Andy, speaking of bursting through the screen, let's talk about something. Andy, show us your shirt. We salute you, Andy. We salute you. Andy, one quick question. How are the Butter Tarts doing?
Week 2 of practice, full contact tomorrow. We have a scrimmage on Thursday evening. Very excited. A lot of talent, not a lot of size, but a lot of speed this year, gentlemen. A lot of speed.
Very exciting. And now coming to us live from Mexico City, there is a lot to unpack with you tonight, my friend Rodolfo. How are you?
I'm absolutely great. I was told before we went on air that I needed to drink more coffee, and my eyes are wide open right now. I can feel the energy right now. This adrenaline rush is just getting me. I love you guys. So, yeah, get ready for a new me.
Wow. Well, Rodolfo, if I can share with the audience, the real energy with you tonight is the fact that you are a bachelor now for something like 10 days or so. And Rodolfo today in our pre-production meeting told me something that his time, while his family's away, he's going to be focused on the 3 Ps.
Yeah.
Prinz, as in Freddie Prinz, papayas, and something called Pico de Gallo.
Pico de Gallo, yeah, absolutely.
Right? So the 3 Ps, right, Rodolfo?
Thanks.
And now coming to us live from Cleveland, the podcast owner, Mr. Paul Linehan. Honored to have you here with us tonight.
I was a little worried there on the 3 Ps, I'll be honest. I almost went dark.
I was too.
This is a family show. I do note that Paul, I will tell you something. I had a pre-production meeting today with Rodolfo, and he said something to me, and it was in confidence, but this has to be transparent. This has to be sort of honest for this to work. But he said, damn it, we shouldn't have got Paul on the podcast. We should have went for, and I'm looking at my notes here, he said, we should have gotten one of those kittens like Golick got. So, you know,
true story.
It could be. I think it's a valid point as well. I think you guys might have made a mistake there, but I'll try to overcome as always.
Well, you look great. Good to have you tonight.
Needless to say, I'm fired up to be here. Week 0 started. I was watching games I would have normally no interest in. I watched a couple high school games this weekend, so let's go.
Andy, we're all fired up. I will ask, how are the smoke down there? Everything cleared up now? You guys stop whining about that? Things are good?
No, yeah, I think we're good. I think we're in the clear now. I haven't heard any or seen or smelled anything, so I think you guys finally did it. You managed to get your wildfires under control, which we appreciate here in America.
You're welcome. We don't have any guests tonight. It's not because we didn't try. We had 2 lined up. We had 2 lined up right until the last moment. Jay Strong, I think he's like a sheriff or I don't know but he's a big sort of law enforcement guru in Texas. He's not a state trooper, but he's like a sheriff, right, Andy?
He's a police chief in this.
He's a chief. Yeah.
City of Hamlin, I think, is where he works.
He still said he's promised that I could be honorary deputy, and I'm still waiting for my badge. But he couldn't make it tonight. He had a matter call him out, something about a border issue. I'm not sure what that meant, but dealing with that. We also had J.P. Guerrero, the legend, ready to join us tonight, and he couldn't make it. Now, JP said he got the time zones wrong. The real reason, and I share this with all with all honesty, I think he was worried because the last podcast guest we had was John O'Neill. And right after that, John felt so much love for being on with us that John got engaged.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you tonight, our friend. Now I understand.
I was concerned that JP was missing because he was Jay's border issue.
Now I am going to do a bit of an audible here, and not the pun. One of my first things last week for last podcast was to apologize for the lousy sound emanating from my mic. I understand it's happening again. Is that correct, gentlemen?
It is.
Giving me AOL vibes.
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah,
I can hear you for sure. I'll
If there are any issues, let us know. This is live, and the other live thing we have to talk about right now is the fact that no good.
Every time you speak.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't good, gentlemen. I don't know what to do. I feel embarrassed. Any recommendations? If you can't hear me, this isn't going to work.
Oh, we can
hear you.
Hear you, Roger, but it's making that pinging, like twangy sound again.
Exactly.
I wonder if I'm. So this is going to be a phenomenal broadcast with me just saying, "Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?" Is it still poopy? Is it constantly poopy?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a way? So I'm going to sign off for a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back on, and you guys can just continue on for a few minutes without me while I deal with my mic issue. Is that fair?
Yeah. Keep up with the plant, Paul. Keep up with the plant, Paul. Now's your chance.
Oh, the dogs are upset.
Yeah, mine are.
Okay, I'm going to go off camera for a second.
Okay, great.
All right, that worked.
We got rid of him.
We got rid of him. Finally.
We took 2 episodes for it
Now's
to work.
a chance, Paul.
For some reason, we just hit 500 viewers as soon as we left. Gentlemen, how are we feeling though? I know we're going to get into it, but 1 week from now.
Yeah. I'm not going to be popular on this podcast today based on some things that I'm going to have to say. I know.
So, am I okay?
Yeah, you sound better now.
Yeah, you do. Whatever you did.
Okay. What's the headphones, right? So I don't know what to do.
There you go. You look better too. Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's start here. Give me a thumbs down if it goes south again. And my apologies to the listeners. The number one thing I want to say is that we are live. And I've already received a comment from Chris Carter, who claims to be a friend. And his observation about Canada tonight is that the barbershops are closed. So
They are.
Thank you for that.
Only the barbershops that specialize on the sides. The top, you're still fine.
It's it's funny because I did Paul Linehan is nothing but love. I wrote Paul in a moment of weakness, I think last week, saying, Paul, how silly is my hair? I feel like, I feel like maybe Cher still trying to be sexy at 80. Tell me if I need help. And Paul said, no, keep going with it. So Paul's either invested in the joke or he's truly trying to be supportive, or maybe a bit of both. So
I'm upset that you're mocking Cher's sexuality right now, to be honest.
He's troubling.
I have
Cher was the national treasure tonight, right?
Yeah.
I have a theory that Cher and Steven Tyler are the same person.
Come on.
So apologies.
I'm not sure who that's an insult to. I have to really think about it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So apology for the sound last week. Thanks for getting this corrected and on right this week. We don't need another repeat of that. I also want to apologize. And so Rodolfo, in our pre-meeting today, he was very vulnerable. Tears streaming down his Spanish tears coming down, and he said, "Roggie, you know, people really think that you think I speak Mexican." And I said, "My friend, they know I'm playing a character. They know I'm embellishing for the sake of comedy. And I said, I know you don't speak Mexican, Rodolfo. I know it's Latin. So I
Well, he is in Latin America, right?
Yeah, that's right. We all speak Latin down here.
Stats for the podcast. We are 57 subscribers, and we thank everyone for that. That's just wonderful stuff. We are at 305 listeners for our first one and 138 for the second, probably because they heard the sound was so crap that they bailed on it. But we would ask that everyone...
Not the direction we want to move in, let's be honest. That's not the direction we want to move.
When Paul bought this podcast, this is not what he was buying.
The projections are way off at this point in time. Way off.
So we would ask that you like, subscribe, share. As everyone knows, if we get to 500, when we get to 500, that next broadcast, we are broadcasting from Andy's farm. And it's very, very exciting. We're 11% of the way there, Andy. Clean up the hay, make sure the cows are trimmed for the season. We're coming to the farm, Andy.
All right.
I think we are going to get a spike once the season starts too. I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
On another note, I don't know if anyone noticed that Father Nate's book, "Pray Like a Champion," is being received. It's out there now. Excited to read that. It's going to be awesome. There was some chatter on Facebook today about this, and our very own sort of, as someone put it, I think it was you, Paul, our own Cato Kalin, George Davis. Father Nate commented that his book was out on Facebook, and George piped in to say, "Great news, Father Nate, I have it. And don't forget who got your fame started with the signature thing."
Wow.
Wow.
Which I thought was quite something. I assumed that maybe God had gotten Father Nate started, but
Same thing.
George Davis. And last comment.
Like Cher and Steven Tyler, right?
Last comment with my, I'm now a month out from my major surgery, having an organ removed from me by force.
Who's it?
I'm back, and I say this.
We're never getting Father Nate on here.
Exactly.
I say this for those who know what happens during games when things aren't going so well. I'm able to bathe again. So in the event that I need to take a halftime bath to help the team win, we're back.
Rog, whatever happened to you coming to visit?
I think maybe my organ being removed, Andy.
Oh.
It's funny because I technically am not allowed to travel until after September 5th, until I'm cleared. So that's why I couldn't make it down to the Miami game.
Was his mate better in the farm, Andy? Was Roger's bed made in the farm? You were waiting for him?
I mean, we had made big accommodations for him. So we were excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Andy, when you were a bachelor for that week, were 3 Ps also sort of?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was more pico de gallo than anything, but yeah, it was amazing.
It's funny. At no point did you inquire where I was until now.
I just remembered that you were supposed to come visit.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it supposed to be August 14th? Wasn't that when you were supposed to come visit? Something like that? Yeah.
I was. I think my surgery was a few days or a week or so before that. But, in any event, I'm healthy, Andy. Anytime you want me to visit now, let me know.
Anytime you want.
Okay. Oh, geez, I just see we have some breaking. Oh, by the way, one other thing tonight is that if you send chats in or comments, Rodolfo is like my Ed McMahon. So he's going to weigh in with anything he thinks is appropriate, comment on or share the chats. So Rodolfo, let us know if you have anything. But
Absolutely.
I do have a bit of breaking news. Now, I know that during the course of the 3 years we've been doing this, there's a lot of storylines. If you recall, I've talked a lot about Montecore and the Siegfried and Roy attack, that famous tiger. There's been another tiger attack tonight in Vegas. A tiger has mauled a French tourist. Claude.
No.
Wow.
That was a lot of work. A lot of work.
Yeah. Great job. Well done, though.
Yeah, Claude. You can use that tomorrow with the kids. National treasures. Let's get right at it. I'm going to start with one that I have forgotten all about. One that I've forgotten all about for Canada. But let's do this. Let's start with a one that I don't think you can disagree with. I think this is so obvious. It's a home run. Bryan Adams. Does anyone not like Bryan Adams? Ubiquitously Canadian, great songs, even that sort of One for All and all that sort of nonsense he did with Sting. It was still reasonably okay. But Bryan Adams, Canadian national treasure, I salute him.
Wow. As you should.
You know who he is, Andy?
I do. I'm familiar with him, yeah.
Right.
We have our first comment, Roggie, and it's about you. I mean, your friend Daryl Sage cuts like he's telling cuts like a knife. So yeah, he loves Bryan Adams apparently, or unless there's something hidden there that you want to tell us about.
No, that's good. I think Daryl's had several Bud Lights, so he's probably just remembering the only song he could remember. Funny story about Daryl. He is a big Michigan fan, so I'm glad he's listening. But do you know that in his neighborhood, all the street signs have been stolen?
Is that so?
Michigan fan, he steals signs.
Mm-hmm.
God.
It is true, he says.
Yes. Dolph, we asked you tonight. I had to have a pep talk with Dolph tonight. I was worried that he was sad. I wanted him to bring the Mexican energy. Dolph, what national treasure do you have for us tonight?
It's a very recent one, and the one we are very proud of down here. There's some kind of games that nobody watches in China this week, and they have apparently flag football, both men and women, and the women won the gold. I'm not going to say who they beat, but they won the gold, so we're very proud of that team.
Who'd they beat?
Who do you think?
I watched it.
Who do you think they beat, Andy? I mean,
The United States of America?
exactly. You invented the game.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Well, this is something.
Yeah, those Mexican girls are good. I mean, the Americans are pretty good too, but it was a great game.
Okay. I'll have to take your word for it.
Nobody watches it.
Who was the quarterback for the American team? Was it Slade? On we move to USA. Paul,
Sure.
what's your
Yeah, I'll be Captain Obvious this week, and it's college football. What else could it be this week, right? And this is a Notre Dame podcast, obviously, and thanks to our friend from Michigan for listening. But this isn't a Notre Dame tape. This is I watched those people from Iowa State and Kansas State in Ireland having the time of their lives, the camaraderie, the pageantry. I got hooked on that SEC documentary that shared last season. It was called Any Given Saturday, and just watching those people and how crazy it is and what a bonding. And not to take anything away from McGill versus Toronto A&M or anything like that. I'm sure it's great. This is American, like this American college football. In fact, I'm going next Thursday to see Bowling Green play Lafayette. I don't even know where Lafayette is or what it is, but I'm going. A friend of mine invited me, and I'm like, Thursday night, college football. Let's see what this is like. So that's my American treasure for this week.
God love you, Paul, for referencing McGill. Well done.
Yeah.
The
tailgating's great there. The tailgating's great.
You were on your research, Andy. Is there going to be a time when you name yourself an American treasure?
No, never. I'm far too humble for that. I'm going to pivot off of what Paul said, and I'm going to go with the first, a nice little invention from Joseph Gayetti in 1857, which brought America, the United States, its first commercial toilet paper.
Ooh,
Gayetti's medicated tissue was the first toilet paper, and I personally feel that to be a national treasure. Because look where it's gone from there. I mean, sky's the limit.
Wow.
Very good.
Thank you.
Did he make money? Did this guy make?
He did.
Mean, it's not Charmin or
no, but he patented it.
Charmin.
Andy, I know it's not the Ask Andy question time, but I've just been sort of inspired by this. I can't imagine a world without toilet paper, but just a quick query for you. Have you ever used a bidet?
I have not.
Okay. Right.
Oh boy. Do they have those in Canada?
Oh, yes, we have a few. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Andy will bring one to the farm. I think there's one needed.
Yeah, heck of a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on now to Baby, You Can Drive My Car. A lot of buildup over the past few weeks about who would be our starter. I think the media, most of the media covering Notre Dame over the past couple of weeks had veered away from at one point what everyone thought was the obvious selection of Carr and had talked themselves into Minchie winning the job. Is anyone truly surprised that it's Carr? Paul?
Surprised? No. I don't like some of the things we heard. I don't like that it took that long. But the thing I think longer term, I think, again, we're not at practice. None of us are at practice. My overall sermon on this is we trust Freeman, we trust Denbrock. They saw the practices, we did not. We heard snippets from people who saw 8 plays, whatever. Prospect-wise, Carr's got the better arm. Longer term, I think he's the right answer. I think any Minchie help would have been. I just hate the schedule this year. I hate that our 2 hardest games are the first 2 games, and we don't know who our quarterback is. It's. I've wrestled with this a lot. Like I'm really down right now going into the season because of this issue. I think long term, I think CJ Carr, it'll be the first 2-year starter we've had in how many years? Like when he comes back next year, I think he's going to be great by like game 6 or 7. I'm worried up front, but trust these guys though. They saw everything. They got the guy, and I think we have the old saying is if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have 0, and I believe in that. But if something does happen to Carr, I think we do have a guy that can come in and help. So,
Andy, I think it's nice to have this problem where it's not the problem of a few years ago of Dane Christ and Drew Pine and Tyler Buckner, and really trying to believe that one of them is a true number one. Here it was a fight for 2 guys who everyone knows can probably be number ones. How are you feeling about Mr. Carr? Now, Andy, you've done the research on this. I believe you've told us his name is Carlton Jebediah. Is that what CJ stands for?
Yes. It's a long. I can't even do it. I'm Team Carr all the way. I thought he was our guy. I have believed in him. Looking at his high school stats, 3 years of 2,600 yards or more is pretty. It makes me feel good to know that he's stepping in. He's been in the system long enough, I would think, to have learned enough, to have seen enough. And the season they had last year, just being a part of that, should give him a lot of learning experience. Obviously on the sideline, but still a lot of experience. And being under Riley Leonard last year, what a great mentor and leader you can have, and Riley. But like Paul said, it had to be clear cut. If this continued on with the 2 quarterbacks, Minchie or Carr, we really put ourselves in a predicament. But I fully believe in Carr. I think he's got weapons on the outside that are going to help him. Having Jeremiah Love also there to hand the ball, or Jadarian or Aeneas Williams. I mean, he's got a lot of weapons to help him if he does falter early. But I think he's got what it takes. Like Paul said, it might take a few games for him to settle in, but I think ultimately he's our guy.
Well said. And Rodolfo, we have Denbrock. We have a very, very seasoned, bright coordinator who knows exactly how he needs to prepare Carr for these first 2 games. What are your thoughts about these first 2 games? They're big, tough ones with Carr. Do you feel he'll rise to the challenge, or are we going to is it going to be predictably bumpy, Rodolfo?
I think we have an overall team that they don't need to win with a quarterback. They could just have. I hate this term because everybody hates it. They just can have a game manager for the first 2 games. They have a great defense. They have probably the best running back team in the whole country. So I think whoever it was in there, and I do believe Carr was the starter all along, doesn't need to win these 2 games. I mean, this is a very tough way to start the season, but I think they'll get over the 2 games. The defense is going to carry them for at least the first 3 or 4 games of the season. So I'm really not too worried. I think CJ was the clear cut all along, and probably a lot of noise around people that don't know. But I think the choice was going to be obvious, and that's why Angeli transferred. So, I mean, I believe CJ Carr is the right choice for this.
Angeli named the starter at Syracuse. Paul, one other quick thing to touch on. Everyone talks about Carr's leadership and his skills being sort of his understanding of the game and his leadership skills sort of being really, really high. It's not lost on me, too, the importance of Tyler Buckner being in that room this year.
Yeah, even though you just sort of ripped on him a little bit just a few minutes ago, trying to convince yourself we actually had a quarterback. But I do think moving him back into the QB room was a good move. And I guess it was on the last spot. I said he's going to make a play for us before this year is over, either as a running quarterback on a 4th and 1 or a goal line situation or some kind of injury situation or a fake field goal. Tyler Buckner is going to make a play this year.
Let me reset a quick story from camp. So this year, one of the things we had the opportunity to purchase were the Play Like a Champion Blazers. You know, the ones that were made by ESQ and Guff. I mean, they're phenomenal stuff. We got to get the some of the older used ones, and so I purchased one, and inside the tag it said who it was from, and so I have, and it fits perfectly, and you guys have seen me. I'm 5'6", I'm no specimen, but mine is Drew Pines, and so
wow,
so
okay.
I was excited about it, and I said it to someone. What I won't name the person at Notre Dame, but I mentioned it to someone that I have this. Isn't this cool? And they said, "Well, it doesn't say a lot about Drew, does it?"
Now, he's officially done, right? I'm not going to look up on Saturday this week and he's starting for another team because remember last year he made an appearance out of nowhere and I was like, wait, that can't still be him.
No, you are going to see, I think he's either at Bowling Green, he's at one of those MAC schools now. You might see him.
Because remember last year he came off the bench for was it Arizona State or was that before that? What was it?
Oh, was it Arizona State? It was, you're right.
Yeah, he's a graduate at Bowling Green.
Oh, well, maybe I'll see him. If I see him on Thursday, I'll get a picture. Send it back to you guys.
Bring Roggie's jacket. Have him sign his jacket.
Can you get him to sign my jacket?
I'll go all George on him.
By the way, if there's anyone in North America that needs any sports teams, planes, buses, taxis, if you need them, tracked, just ask George Davis.
Yeah,
he's able to do that. One other quick story is, and I shared this with James Gilliard during the week, is that James is upset that I refuse to refer to his cat, who doesn't have, he calls his cat Miles, and I refuse to call it Miles. I call it kilometers. You should know that there's a Toronto Blue Jay outfielder named Miles Straw, whose nickname in the media and with his teammates is kilometers. So.
That was the Indians traded him up there, and that's when he changed. When he crossed the border, they changed his name. I heard. Yeah.
That's how we run things. We're pretty strong on our metric up here. Let's move on to our preseason rankings. I thought it would be fun just to see how you guys have the top 5. Dolph, how is your top 5 before the season starts? How does it look?
No particular order. It's Penn State, Notre Dame, of course, Georgia, Oregon, and Ohio State.
So, Rodolfo, again, I'm going to hold you to task. We expect a professional operation here. I don't get this hair done for that kind of stuff. We wanted an order. I wanted an order. Who's your number 1?
Just because I want to play the underdog, I'm going to put Penn State at number 1.
Andy,
it's just 1 week. I mean, this doesn't even count.
I'd like to speak on that topic.
Yeah. Andy, you're second up. Who do you have?
I got Ohio State number 1, Texas number 2, Notre Dame number 3, Oregon, and Georgia.
I have Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Georgia, and Clemson. And Paul, the floor is yours.
Yeah, first I'm going to talk about the Penn State thing. And I've been saying this to everyone who'll listen, and now I have a podcast, so I might as well say it. But this is what I don't get about Penn State. We know the coach is unreliable, right? They lost their best offensive player to the NFL, first-round NFL draft pick, the tight end. They lost their best defensive player as a top 5 NFL draft pick. But the one guy they're banking on is Drew Aller, who, if I'm not mistaken, went about 11 for 23 and completed 0 passes to wide receivers. And if you recall the parking lot after that game, most of those Penn State people were hoping he was not coming back. Yep. So I don't know how you lose your best player on both sides of the ball. You keep the guy that's a little questionable, and the whole country has anointed you number 1. That being said, my top 5 are, with all apologies to Sal Perdito, I have the Ohio State Buckeyes number 1. I have Alabama number 2. I think you're going to surprise some people. I got Georgia, Texas. But I think that's Notre Dame at the end of the year, not right now.
Alabama needs a bounce back year. Otherwise, they need to make the playoff if the Heat's not going to be on their second-year coach, which it'll get on him quick if he's not.
I think they're going to be good. Yeah.
Interesting. Let's move on now to our personal segment. Andy, this is the favorite. If we were polling our audience, and I know you've asked to poll the audience, if we were polling the audience, Andy, this would be their number 1 segment. Ask Andy. So, does anyone want to ask Andy a question before I do?
Go ahead, Raj. You're ready. You're eager. Go
Andy,
ahead.
If I bought these for you and rewarded you to wear them, we could agree on what that reward would be. Every day this winter, would you wear Uggs to the compound, to HQ?
To HQ, yeah.
No, I would not.
Is there a circumstance you could see yourself wearing Uggs? Because I want to create that.
No, I don't think there is. It's just not my style, Raj. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm into men's clothing.
Thanks. So,
is that a bright line? It's a bright line.
Yeah. One other question for you, Andy. Have you ever taken a bubble bath?
I have not. No, not even as a child. Not even as a child.
There was no moments of young, innocent frolic in a bubble bath?
Nope. 0.
Come on.
Nope. Sorry.
I have one question for Andy. Are the Butter Tarts going to face the team that have that massive offensive lineman that drove his pickup truck to the game last year?
They 100% will. They will be playing the same team. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
I'm sure he's only gotten bigger since last year. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Andy, one other question. I know we've talked about it. It bothers us both. But can you share with me your soft butter strategy? I can't find a way to keep soft butter in the house. What's the success? Like, what's your success on that?
You need a butter crock and just leave it on the counter.
Andy, what's a butter crock?
It's a specially made butter dish.
I don't know this thing, Andy. Would you send me a picture of your butter crock?
I will.
Was that was all set up, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was.
I will gladly send you a crock pic. So.
I haven't. My Ask Andy is a little simpler. Andy, are you an inside fireplace guy during the winter?
Real fireplace or gas fireplace?
Real fireplace.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I want nothing to do with a fire, the smell of a fire. It's not my thing. I won't cook. I won't make s'mores with my children over a fire. I will stand many, many feet or yards or meters away as to not have to. And I have photos of it because I will not stand near an open flame. So Not for safety reasons. It's the smell. I can't stand the smell. So.
Would you stand there in Uggs?
No, I would throw them in the fire.
Okay.
I'm going to bring a pair to camp next year, and just to have you wear them in the lifestyle photo shoots with just shorts.
Sure, I can do that.
Shirtless with shorts. Let's move on to is that it? Is the floor closed now for Mr. Andy?
Yep.
Okay, it's good session, Andy. I've learned some things. Thank you.
I like the question.
I do think at some point your parents did bathe you. I don't think they're throwing an infant in the shower.
Oh, no, I took baths, but never a bubble bath. I can assure you there was no bubbles.
Bubbles are the defining.
Yes.
You're all fine with the water. It's just the silly bubbles are just.
Yeah, I know. There was no bubbles when I was a child. It was all business, no fun.
Are we getting played off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the bubble thing is too much now.
All right, Dolph, another equally exciting session for people. What grinds your gears?
Nothing grinds my gears this time, Roger. I mean, college football season just kicked off yesterday. Everything is fine. I mean, I'm a bachelor for at least 3 days, but yeah, I'm fine with life. Life is perfect.
See, this is unacceptable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and we need to have this session. So bear with me. I'm going to channel Rodolfo here. I know two things that grinds his gears. In talking to me, I'm going to do them right now. Roggie, one of the things that I'm really upset about is that the great poet Pablo Neruda, people think he's Mexican. He's from Chile. Roggie. That really bothers me. Also, Roggie, on equal footing intellectually, Dr. Pepper, not a real doctor.
Well
done.
Yeah.
Thank you. My macho tip of the podcast. No one asked for this, so I think this is a segment where I'm going to have to search for what my segment should be. But I don't think anyone wants this.
I'd like to point out that poor James has no idea that was not Rodolfo speaking.
I will say tonight when I was looking for guests, my lovely wife Kathleen said, "How about I be a guest?" I said, "Oh," and she said, "Yes." We could tell the people about what we're doing. Now, what my lovely wife is doing is she's decided to volunteer her time for a year and train a guide dog. And we are volunteering. We have a guide dog. We have a little puppy that we now have for a year that we train, and then it goes off to guide dog school, and it could become a therapy dog, a dog for the blind. I'm sort of hoping the dog I have got to be a bomb dog. But they go do something. And she said, you could have me and James on, and James could talk about the value of the guide dogs and what they do. And I said, look, I'm not having James on. I'm pretty sure James isn't blind. I don't think he's gonna solve the issue. But hey, there's Georgie. Hi, Georgie. What a good dog.
He just busted in. He rammed his head through the door.
I like that. He's the handsomest boy ever. So my simply put macho tip. I mean, this hair doesn't make itself. The right amount of Australian mousse in the morning, and once that's done, just a dollop on each sort of cheek of my oak moss cologne, and it's lovely stuff. I can only get it. I have to import it, but it's quite a combination. I shouldn't leave the house without police guard when that occurs.
The dollop. I think that's the key. The dollop.
Yeah, exactly. Very macho.
Thank you. So, Paul, please tell us a Notre Dame story.
Yeah, I'll rescue us from this. So I've been walking us through the different phases of it, and I think this week's story is going to be in honor of the upcoming game between Notre Dame and Miami. I'm going to take you back to 1988, and I lived it. I was a sophomore. And you got to remember where Notre Dame football was at the time. Miami had destroyed us by 50 points the year before, and we were only 2 years removed from Jerry Faust. So confidence was not high on the campus. It was a terrible week. It rained the entire week that week, and it was midterms week. So everyone was on their last nerve, like midterms, brutal. Just brutal. So the game was there. It was like the end of the week. It was the goal. Everybody wanted to get to it, but it wasn't like, oh, good, we're gonna be number one after that. We were worried about it. Like the team, Holtz probably had them prepared and they were confident. The student body, not so much. And we had beaten Michigan, like the beginning of the season. You think that'd be a confidence boost, but if you recall, we beat Michigan because their All-American kicker missed a 40-yard field goal by 6 inches. Like otherwise, we lose that game too, right? And the offense wasn't great. We had a punt return in that game, in the Michigan game, and 4 field goals. Like there was no offense to speak of, right? So we were, the sports guys we're all a little worried. Miami's a machine and everything like that. So we wake up Saturday morning, gorgeous. The weather is cleared. You got the blue-gray October sky. You even got some sun breaking through. And then after I served a little bit of community service for selling some T-shirts, which is another story for another day. I was in charge of garbage duty on Saturday morning in a boys' dorm. You can imagine that sucked. So anyway, we go outside and the atmosphere is just electric. CBS is there, ESPN's there, and they didn't have like the big studios with the security. Like you were literally walking by reporters doing live shots, and our confidence started to grow. And the other thing was, like, Miami will have people there this weekend. Miami didn't travel well. We didn't see, even like lesser teams like Stanford or Purdue, they bring people. Like you starting Friday, you can see people. We didn't see Miami people all week. They just didn't come. Like they just weren't at the game. So all day long, as you're having a few beverages, the confidence starts to surge. And then we go in. There's like 6 of us walking in together. And they're giving out these little like wavable towels with an ND logo on it, which I'm afraid to say this for a breaking and entering for George, but I still have mine. It's a souvenir that I have from that day. But the bottom line is the 80-year-old ushers handing out the towels didn't take our tickets. So we send my one buddy back out with 6 student tickets, sells 5 of them, comes back in. He's got like $1,000, which to a 19-year-old college student, dividing it up 5 ways, $200, which is exactly $200 more than I had in my bank account before that day. So now we're sky high. We got money, we're cruising, and then the fight happens in the tunnel. And it happens in the tunnel while we're walking up to our seats. So we're right there. And it's insane. You're like, oh my gosh, these guys, we're not taking crap from anybody. Like the fight was the best thing that could happen. Like, and the place was going bananas because everyone saw it. It was right there. So anyway, you guys know the game goes back and forth. It's no pun intended, trading punches the entire time. And then the play happens. And before I go into the play, Jimmy Johnson, hated figure at Notre Dame. I give him credit for going for 2 because back then you could just tie. And if he had just kicked that extra point, they would have tied. They would have won the national championship most likely, right? Or we would have played them again. I don't know what would have happened. I don't know what they would have done. But he could have walked out of there with a tie. They were number 1. They wouldn't have fallen. They wouldn't have fallen below us. I don't know what would have happened. He could have kicked it, and he didn't. But the angle we were at, if you picture the student section at Notre Dame, that 2-point conversion was in the far end, but on our side. So when that ball left Steve Walsh's hands, we all knew Terrell was going to get there because you could see it. Like it played out right in front. You were like, he's got this. Like you could see the beeline he had on it. And we knew like a fraction of a second before he touched the ball. And just pandemonium in the crowd. It just, I can't describe it other than to say that I can remember every single person that was sitting near me, what they were wearing, where we landed in the dog pile afterwards. And it was one of those bonding moments. Like, yeah, I was sitting with some of my friends, but I was also other guys in my dorms that I wasn't as close. That wasn't part of my what kids call a friend group today. But I remember that Damien was one of the guys I hugged when this happened, and you remember that. And about 10 years later, I was at a tailgate and there was a girl there who I recognized, but I couldn't remember exactly who she was. But she is a girl who happened to be in one of my classes. I barely knew her. Her name was Erin. Barely knew her, but she happened to be sitting by us when that happened. She introduced me to her husband, and she says, "This is one of the guys I was sitting back when Pat Terrell knocked the pass down." I'm like, that's the way everyone's memory. It's like the Kennedy, where were you when Kennedy got shot, or you heard the news about this? That's your Notre Dame moment right there. So hopefully there will be one this weekend. It'll be down in Miami, so hopefully everybody's safe when they go down there. I have no desire to go down there ever again for a Miami Notre Dame game, but hopefully there's a memory for those kids coming, if not in the next game, and they'll never forget it as long as they live. And that was our game right there. So that's my Notre Dame story for this week. Story's a little longer, but that was a big day. And I think it was one of the biggest days in our football program since the 70s, because it pushed back on the map that come and get us. We're ready to play you now.
Certainly a lot better memory than Brian Kelly going to Hard Rock Stadium and pooping his pants.
Yeah, I was there for that. That's the last. I will not go back. It was embarrassing. I left at halftime. I don't do that. Part of that was for safety. But
yeah. Well, another great story, Paul. Thank you for that. We'll segue to our current bucket list. I thought it would be neat to find out what our bucket lists are. And if we have any in common, let's do them together. Paul, what's your bucket list? 3 items.
Sure. I think we all live blessed lives. And I think this is reflected in the fact that I only came up with 2. But one of them has multiple parts. It's seeing the college football stadiums that I haven't seen yet, like the meccas of college football. And not as a visiting fan. I don't want to go see Notre Dame play at Alabama. I don't want to be in my gold shirt but I want to go to an Alabama game against, I don't care, like SMU, Texas, whoever, just to see the pageantry live and see what they do differently. And I've gotten to do a few of these over the years. I've done LSU, I've done Washington, I've done Penn State, I've done Ohio State. But I have a chart. Like I actually have a spreadsheet that shows places that I've been, places that I want to go to, and then the rest. There's some I won't waste my time with. But I am crossing Bowling Green off this week. So I guess, I could just put that one off the list. But those are my, like, if anyone ever wants to go to a neutral site game, like not Notre Dame game, and have a free weekend, call me, because I would love to see some of these places that I've never gotten to see before. That's on my bucket list. And then the second one, and I think I talked to you guys about this a little bit. If I haven't, I apologize. The other one that was always been on my bucket list is to teach a class at Notre Dame, and I'm actually doing that this fall. So I will be crossing something off. I'm a guest lecturer. It's like 2 appearances. It's not a full-time gig, and that's fine because I'm at this point really not interested in a full-time gig. But I think walking into a classroom on the other side of that, it's something that I don't tear up anymore because I've told the story like 100 times, but at the beginning I did. So
when you juxtapose that to the story about your dad doing what he needed to do to get you in, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, see, this is what happens. You're doing it to me right now. Yeah, I know. So those are my 2. I'm sure you guys are going to say things that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do that too. But those were the ones that came to mind when I did my little prep today. So
cool, Paul. Dolph, other than being covered in fruit 24/7.
Oh yeah, that one's mine too. I knew I'd have another one. Yeah, that's mine.
Give us 3, Dolph.
I have 3 sports one and a trip I want to do. So the 3 sports ones are the 7 Nations rugby tournament that they have in Europe, Alabama, Auburn. I am more specific than Paul, and I would love to see the Bears and the Packers play at Lambeau. And the other one is just a trip to Japan and China with my wife at some point.
Very cool. My 3 are simple. I've been lucky, like Paul said, very blessed to fire a bunch of them off in the past several years. So play Pebble Beach with some friends. My favorite television show of all time, I want to be in the audience for it before it goes off the air, but Taskmaster. I want to go to Taskmaster in London and see that.
I thought you were going with Littlest Hobo there. I thought it was like, I don't know if they're filming that anymore, Roggie.
If I to take away from George's plans, or to learn from George, if I could dig that dog up and clone him, that might be on my list. But I know that's wrong. Like you, Rodolfo, I'd love to get to Australia and New Zealand. That would be my trip. Andy.
Mine are all somewhat Notre Dame centric, and one of them I've already done. I was combining my career with the state police and Notre Dame football. Like, there's very few opportunities where that will probably happen for me again, where I'm in a position to be a part of it.
Uncrustables.
A single Uncrustable kept me alive.
I'm not really sure. Is that the free hats game? I'm just putting things in perspective.
Until recently, Andy's bucket list also included getting.
I know, getting his hats. Yeah.
Another one is something that I think, I don't know if you have, Rodolfo, but I believe Paul and I know Roger has traveled to Ireland, and either just a trip to Ireland or obviously a trip to Ireland when the Irish are there playing to check two boxes at once.
Yeah.
And third would be to meet Lou Holtz. He's somebody that I've wanted to meet, and obviously he's not on the fantasy camp roster. So generally we haven't crossed paths.
Excellent stuff. New Notre Dame football inspired leprechaun logos. I mean, there's going to be one for each sport. Initial impression, I think it's cool. I like to see it. I know George has already called the bookstore. I think George was very worried about the same time he was worried about the Bon Jovi albums, and he was first in line of a line of one. But any thoughts? Any things come to mind about the logo? I like it. I think it's cool.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. I like they'll keep the old logo too, but I can't wait to see the 30 other varsity sports logos. I can't wait to see that thing, fencing and golfing, and like that. What a great golf hat that would be, you know.
Paul, you led me to my punchline. I was going to talk about fencing, and I don't know what that logo is going to look like, but I can imagine the leprechaun standing behind a pawnbroker's desk. You know, that's the kind of fencing I think it is. Thank you for that.
Okay, Roggie, we have comments from Rich before we go further, and they're all directed to Paul. And I'll quote, Paul, selling uncollected tickets and selling T-shirts infringing on ND. I'm shocked yet very proud of you. I can see why you are the podcast owner. Next comment, say hi to the Muffin Man Drew Pine at Bowling Green. And the last one, who would take care of the farm while Andy's in Ireland?
It's a fair question.
It's our good friend Rich Durkins.
That's why I don't go.
You could take the farm.
Technically, I could. Yes, I could. I'd have to check it. It's not a carry-on item.
Well, if you could, maybe you could work with Bass. If Notre Dame goes back over, they could throw it on the shipment.
One of the trunks.
Yeah, they bring like 25,000 Uncrustables and one farm.
I won't tell too much of the story, but JP was telling me about those jackets that he made for the fantasy campers. There's a cool story around Coach Free having one, so I'll let JP tell that when he comes on. Season record outcome. All I want to know is what you think the record's going to be and the final outcome of the season. Andy, you're first.
Oof, put me right out there, huh? 11-1, and we make it to the playoffs, but we don't make it to the big game.
Paul, I know you're nervous about the first two.
I'm more nervous about telling you guys and our broadcast audience my thoughts here. I've got 9-3 and we missed.
Whoa.
I think too many things just went right last year, and we're due for some bad luck. You know.
Well, Paul, thanks for being a part of the podcast.
Yeah, there it is. That's why I own it, Andy. You can't fire the owner.
I have 11-1. And I stop making predictions after I say we make the national championship game. But I will tell you, we win the championship next year for sure. Dolph, what's your prediction?
It's very close to yours, actually. It's 11-1, and we make it to the national championship game again. We're going to pay for having someone that hasn't played the quarterback position at the end. But we'll be there.
Where, Andy, where is the game? And can we find a scary neighborhood to stay in again?
The championship game?
Yeah.
It's in Miami, I think.
Oh, we can find it.
We got to stay at that same place if we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the yachts.
Yeah.
And the new Roggie. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Trap game. Rodolfo, what's the trap game this year? What's the game that no one's worried about that they should be?
Ooh, there's really no trap games. I'm going to say the SC game just because it's the last one. And yeah, it's going to be sad to see.
It's mid-year this year.
Yeah, I know, but but still,
He means the last SC.
the last of the series.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the last of the series.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we've been all talking about that, how they don't want to play us, that we're better than them, and that could be a trap game, because if we get overconfident, USC might scare us.
I picked this one because I think we're coming out of the gate 2-0. I think we're going to feel good after we pump Purdue, and I think our loss comes when Boise comes to town. I'm worried about Boise State. Paul.
I had USC. I thought about this one a lot because I don't like the first two games, so I was having trouble. It's one of those things where I think we right the ship, and we could go on a 10-0 run and be right where we were last year, basically. Like the 10-0, walk right into the playoffs hot and see what's going on. But I don't like that USC game for a variety of reasons, and one of them is what Rodolfo so eloquently said about being the last game and us sort of punking them and things like that. And I think they're going to be playing for their coach's life at that point in time, because I think they're going to have a loss or two up before that.
Yeah.
So.
What about you, Andy? What's the trap game, my friend?
I was kind of split 50-50. I think it's going to be either Arkansas or Syracuse, just because I hate Syracuse and jelly. There's a whole new atmosphere around it. Syracuse is trending upward. We tend to struggle with Syracuse, or at least have at some points in the past. So, and it's at Syracuse. No, it's at Notre Dame. At Notre Dame late in November. But Arkansas, kind of early in the season, one of those SEC teams that can get you if you're sleeping on them. So, I'm having trouble coming up with a true trap game, but I guess I'm leaning more towards Arkansas than I am Syracuse. But one of those two for sure to me.
I considered that Arkansas game as well, but I don't think that somehow, some way, Jason Lynch would never let that happen. And I don't know how he would do it, if he would run on the field or what. If he would somehow insert himself into the game and not let that happen.
Sheer will. Sheer will.
They're very fair. Surprises of the year, I just wanted to name. I think we're so deep this year, so I think there's going to be players we forget about that will surprise us with their performance this year. I have three. I think Botello is going to return stronger than ever and have just a phenomenal year. I think this tight end from Arkansas, Washington, I think he's going to be really good. And then lastly, I think Thor. Thor is going to come to the fore and kick the hell out of the ball and make some running plays that no one expects. So those are my surprises of the year. Andy, what about you? What are your surprises of the year, other than how emotionally you'll grow closer to me? Maybe that's not a surprise.
I don't know if you could. Can you hear me okay? Because you were kind of breaking up on me a little bit. Sorry. I'm going with, if he gets on the field, Elijah Burris. I think if his dad doesn't shoot himself in the leg before the game, I think he'll be a contributor. And then I put Jeruby Lambert, just because he's 6'7" and 335-pound offensive lineman. I'd really like to see just what that looks like on the field. And lastly, Scrap Richardson, just because his name is Scrap. You can't go wrong with a guy named Scrap.
That's fantastic. Yeah, no, I agree, because the most famous Scrap in history is Scrappy Doo. So
they went wrong there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, jump the shark. Yeah. The Brady kid. Dolph, who are your surprises?
Oh, I had Jordan Botello too, and I had Burris too. So I'm the third one is going to be Bettis Jr. See what he can do on the field. And I think we'll have some games where those guys can start making plays for the team.
Paul, before I ask you your three, my thought is we haven't had to worry much about kicking the past couple of years. I'm a little nervous. I don't know who the kicker is going to be. Maybe I should know, but I hope we have a kicker. But outside of that issue, who are your three surprises?
Yeah, I didn't go as deep into the barrel as you guys did, I'll be honest with you. But Malachi Fields, I think, is going to be huge with Carr's big arm. Again, but my own problem with the whole thing is that it's going to take a few weeks. And for that reason, I also have Raritan on there. And obviously, he's a star. He's not a surprise. But I think he's going to be even better than we thought he was going to be. Eli Raridan, tight end, and then I got the Heinisch kid taking over that front.
Yeah, captain.
Like we lost Howard Cross, we lost 99. I'm blanking on his name. Sorry, right now. I like the guy. We lost those two guys. I think Donovan whichever Heinisch this is going to make us forget some of those guys a little bit. So he's the pain a little bit.
I saw an interview this past week, and it was an old one. It was about interview with Heinisch's parents after a game, talking about the first Heinisch and then about the second one coming in, and then interviewing the mom. The mom's all glowing, and the dad very, very. And we saw him we sat across him as at the Orange Bowl, very straight, serious guy, and he just said, "Yeah, I know he's doing what he's supposed to. You don't get attaboys for doing your job." I think that's outstanding. Outstanding.
I like it.
Some good news today, for at least me. Canada won the U20 for the first time ever World Lacrosse Championship, beat the U.S. by 1 goal in a hell of a game. Of note there, Notre Dame connection, Tuttle Light's son played on the team, but with some really, really good lacrosse. And for the first time ever, Canada finally eked one out over the U.S. So I'm pleased for that. Let's move on now to.
We have 2 more comments, Roggie, if I may.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like this new role for you, Rodolfo, by the way.
I know.
The comments guy. I like this.
Can you, Rodolfo?
Yeah.
Here you go. Hey-o!
Yeah.
Hey-o. Hey-o.
Yes, sir.
Good one, sir.
We had McMahon. Yeah. Good one, sir. Yeah, I'm going to say that. Yeah. Okay. The first one is from YouTube user, and it reads like this. Can Kathleen replace Rog not just to be the guest? Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ouch. Okay.
Thanks, James.
Yeah.
He
And the other
calls him
one.
like he sees him.
Yeah, exactly. And the next comment is Steven Santa Parquet. Go back to watch the game to watch the podcast from the beginning, gents. I got a late start. Okay. So yeah, I mean
That's cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's cool. Picks of the week. I'm going to fly through these. Nebraska and Cincinnati. Paul, you go first because you're new. Andy goes last because he is the returning champion for the picks. So, Paul, Nebraska, Cincy, who do you have?
I was guest pick champion, just to point that out.
True, which got you the option to buy the podcast.
That's exactly it. I got Nebraska. Big
Dolph?
year for Nebraska. Big year.
Dolph?
The Huskers too.
I went the same way. Andy?
Yeah, Nebraska.
And Andy, if at some point if your mic goes out, I can do your voice too. So if you have problems, let me know.
Okay,
perfect. Okay, Nebraska, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Paul, Texas and Ohio State.
Ohio State, home team. I'll take them.
Dolph?
Yeah, Buckeyes too.
I went with Texas. And Andy?
I'm going to go with Texas.
Oh, my God. I hate to even mention this game. We can't stand either of these coaches, but LSU and Clemson. Paul, who do you pick?
Clemson.
Dolph?
Clemson.
I'm picking LSU strategically because I know Dumbo is going to lose a bunch in the SEC, and that'll make him angry. At least this will give him a false sense of inflated value. But someone has to beat Clemson early, or they're going to go on a run with not playing anyone else. So that's my hope. But I'm picking.
The joy of having Brian 0-4 as in like having never been undefeated at LSU is just fabulous. Like he's never been undefeated. Let's just keep it that way.
I think I'm picking LSU. I hate to do it, but what about you, Andy?
Clemson by 1,000,000.
Channeling Mr. Corso. Love it. Cal, we put them on the roster because our friend Rodolfo went there. Cal and Oregon State. Can you, Paul, who do you pick between Cal and Oregon State?
With all apologies to my very dear friend Rodolfo, I'm going with the Beavers.
What about you, Dolph? Are you going to give it to the Beavers? Are you going to?
Give it to the Beavers. I'm just going to pick a game.
Yeah.
I'll take the Bears.
Okay.
Now I know why
took
that game was on our list for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I took the Bears. Andy?
I'll take Oregon State.
Yeah. Utah and UCLA, Paul, our final pick of the week. Who do you have there?
I'm going upset here. I'm taking UCLA.
Dolph?
I'll take UCLA too.
I did as well. Andy?
UCLA.
Oh, so much for me going out on a limb there. Good job.
So now we're picking the Notre Dame Miami game. Catholics versus convicts again. Paul, we're starting with you.
Yeah.
What is the score, my friend?
Start with me because it'll get better after that. I got Miami 24, Notre Dame 10. I hope I'm wrong. Believe me. I hope I get banned from the podcast for being wrong. It would be worth it.
Mr. Dolph.
Just for the sake of it, Catholics 31, convicts 30.
Nice.
What was it again?
31-30.
31-30. I like that. I went Notre Dame 30-20. Andy, what about you?
31-24 Notre Dame.
And the Florida State score from 93 and the Notre Dame Miami score from 1990, if I'm not mistaken, on Roggie's part there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. I'm gonna be watching the game in North Bend alone. I'm gonna put jerseys on dogs, and hopefully they stay on. But if things go south, the dogs will be out and jerseys off. Over under Carr 190 passing yards. Paul.
Under.
Dolph.
Under.
I went over. Andy.
Under.
Love Shack baby. Does he run for over 105 or under? Paul.
Over.
Dolph.
Over.
I said over. Andy.
Over.
Leading receiver. Paul.
Jeremiah Love.
Good. Interesting. Dolph.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Love too.
I went with Pauling. Andy.
I'm going to go Great House.
Not a good house, but a great house. Leading tackler. Andy, and it's not you tackling Drew every time he runs the score up on you on your PlayStation. Any progress there?
No,
a rematch recently?
We haven't played again in since the last time he beat me. Just has the stars haven't aligned, so I haven't had a chance to just totally destroy him. So
have you been practicing?
I haven't played since that game, so I'm not taking it serious, Paul. I don't know what's going on over here.
Too much farming. The farm's a lot of work.
It is. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Leading tackler, I'm going to go with Don Schuler.
Dolph?
I'm going to go with Drake Bowen.
I did the same. Andy? Oh, sorry, Paul. Yeah, no.
Same, Drake.
I'm all over the place.
Drake,
Sure. I'm so sorry. So you're Bowen? Okay, there we go. I apologize. I mixed it up. Paul, you start with the longest punt.
I only got 44 on this.
Dolph?
Just to round it up, 50.
I went 55. Andy?
48.
All right. And Andy, I share this piece of news with you. I don't know if you saw the release this week, but Garrett will be on the broadcast for the day games at Notre Dame this year. So,
I mean, how can somebody make such a terrible decision? Like, don't they understand how terrible this guy is? Unbelievable.
He's back, Andy.
Can we get Pat Hayden back? I know there'll be some issues there.
That was great.
But I love Pat Hayden.
Yeah, Pat was good. Paul, who was your favorite broadcaster of the years? You've
Don Criqui.
Oh yeah.
Don Criqui.
Interesting.
I love Don Criqui.
Yeah, he was really good. Let's move on now to. We're almost done, folks. For those of you staying with us this long, thank you. We appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Please at least force one, maybe two friends into subscribing. simply we're not. There's no monetization. Like that's not happening.
Yeah.
But the farm really is the dream.
Yeah, folks,
we get
it doesn't cost anything to hit that subscribe button. It really doesn't.
Well, it does, Paul. It costs a little bit of your pride.
Yeah. that leads to my random questions. If anyone's ready.
So it's funny your first, but Paul, you and I are starting to sound like we're PBS people asking for pledge money. So,
Yeah, no, I know.
Paul, what's your random question?
Smash that like button.
Yeah.
Andy, I guess I could have put this in Ask Andy, but it just occurred to me recently. Andy, if you were not on this podcast, would you listen and subscribe?
I'm gonna level with you guys here. No, I probably wouldn't. I've never actually listened to our own podcast, so
You've never watched this with the family around? Look at Daddy.
No. My daughter had a belated birthday party last week, and she texted me while I was at work and asked me what the name of the podcast was.
Oh boy!
And she put it on for her and her friends. I'm like, I'm trying to think, what did I say? And don't worry, they didn't watch the whole thing, but
Okay.
yeah, it was a shocker to me.
They didn't subscribe, Andy. None of them subscribed.
This also means that Andy hasn't liked or subscribed it either.
Yeah. Dolph, would you?
Yeah, I guess I would. Pretty
I
silly.
guess
answer this one.
We're trying to drive. We're trying to drive.
I know.
I
can practice my English hearing it, so yeah.
This should be appointment viewing for me. Paul, what about you? You?
I mean, I can honestly answer this. I did. I lived with it. I would listen to it. I would listen to it when I went for walks, and there would be times. And Steve Parquette, our good friend of the podcast, Steve Parquette, relayed this to me. He said he listens to it when he goes running, and he said people are looking at him because he's laughing like an idiot running down the street like he's a madman. And I'm like, I get it. Like I'd be walking the dog and laughing out loud, and people would walk by me like, who is he talking to?
But for those who need some of the context to the history of this, there are a couple seasons on Spotify which really fill in the palette of the rich history of the characters you're looking at here. Lots of stories, lots of road traveled. It's good fun. So do go back. Andy, your random question for us.
Much more mundane than what Paul asked, but what are your plans for the game next Sunday night?
I'm watching it in North Bend here with the dogs alone, with my phone and iPad ready to text everyone during the game, but very, very, very nervous watching it. I'm looking forward to it, though. Dolph, what about you?
Well, I have a ritual that worked through the playoffs last year, and it was because you guys were actually on the game in the stadium, and I wasn't. So I just took out the white jersey they gave us from last year's camp, not this year, but last year's camp, and I just put it like a blanket over me. And it worked, and I'm going to do the same thing now.
Are you wearing clothes?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
No, it's just the jersey as on a blanket.
Exactly.
Good stuff. And this year, the rabbit ears, are they okay? Are they going to get the game?
The what? The
rabbit ears?
Oh, the rabbit ears. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm not answering that.
Paul, what about you?
Same. I'm going to watch alone. I don't want to watch with anyone else. The big games I don't watch with anyone else. I will be locked in a room with a big screen TV. I will be wearing whatever Notre Dame is wearing. I will wear, tan shorts if they're wearing the gold pants and a white jersey or something. I will always match them. I do that, except for if they wear a black jersey, I won't do that. But sorry, George. But yeah, I definitely do that. So.
Will you have donut cake?
Probably not. Been trying to lose a little weight, but if the donut cake's around, I'll probably partake in it. But we're saying that for the home. That the donut cake will make an appearance at Texas A&M. So let that incentivize you to come to the game. Andy just got in the car.
What's the most, my random question for you guys is, what's the most, when you look back at your life, what's the most embarrassing fashion move to sort of meet a trend or to try and be hip that you went with? Mine currently might be my hair. Mine, there was a period in high school when, bell-bottom jeans, I thought would be good, but I wasn't Chrissy from Three's Company. It didn't look good on me. What's your most embarrassing faux pas, Dolph?
Whoa, I don't know. Probably, those tiger dash pants from the 80s. Taking them to school.
Please
Like
send me a
Zubas?
picture of you.
Zubas?
Jordache. I think that was a brand.
Jordache jeans were designer tight jeans from the 80s.
Exactly.
Did you have that with the acid wash piñatas?
Yeah, we did.
Very nice. Very nice. Jordache jeans. That's fantastic, Dolph. Andy, this is going to be good.
Well, you've seen a picture of it, sort of, where I was wearing the turtleneck.
Oh, the Dickie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Andy's Dickie.
if you had seen the bottom portion of that, you'd see jeans that were tight rolled at the bottom, as was the thing, to tight roll the cuffs of your jeans. Right. Yep. That would probably be it.
Solid. Paul?
Most people don't believe this when I tell them, but I had the razor stripes in the side of my head with the colored dyes.
Like Brian Busward?
Yes, I did that.
I think you need to bring those back for next year's camp.
I 100%. I don't have a job.
Or
Doesn't matter to me.
Or if Notre Dame beats Miami this weekend, as a penance for you picking against them, you might have to do that for the next live podcast.
Possible. I'm not saying no.
Dolph, you get to ask the next random question.
Okay. Yes. What is that thing that you've been putting off for years that you have to do at some point? And it could be a pleasure to me. It could be a trip.
It's a fascinating question, Dolph. There's a body I need moved. The development coming in. I know I got to get to it.
They're putting a new development in. You got to get over there.
You know what? It's probably if I just think about a high level, it's probably reconnect with some people that I should reconnect with, that it might feel a little awkward when I think about doing it, but time's running out. We're all at an age where we're losing people close to us, and I probably should sort of turn that chair and reconnect with some people.
Paul? This is a very thought-provoking question, Rodolfo, and I'm going to sadly admit that I'm about 6 years late on getting a certain test done that so we'll turn this into a PSA. I have to reschedule my colonoscopy checkup, and I've been putting that off for a variety of probably well-reasoned reasons, but I just haven't done it yet. So that was the first thing that came to mind. Sorry to all the 8 people listening. I apologize for that.
Paul,
Don't put it off too long, Paul.
Are you going to be at the A&M game?
Yes, yes, but I'm not taking volunteers.
I have a kid. Andy, what about you, sir?
My wife and I should probably go on a destination trip. We haven't done anything since our honeymoon, really, 15 years ago. So it's between that or finally jumping the shark and hiring a Colombian prostitute, like I've always wanted to do.
What's your daughter's name again? Was she listening? Andy, there's a couple things here. I know you're joking, but
Sure.
in
the event that you're not, you certainly planted the seed with the guy who probably knows them, Rodolfo. So that's a good move.
Glad you
I have some context. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you want that? You can have it.
I guess. Secondly, Andy, next year when you announce you and Heidi are going to Colombia,
2 bucket list items.
Well done, yeah. Two what's the old two birds with one stone? Well done.
Yeah.
Before we go into farewells, Ed, any other viewer feedback, Ed? Or we
have one more for Daryl Sage, of course. And this reads like this: if Notre Dame loses to Miami, is Roggie gonna get a haircut?
No.
No, I can't. I'm going with this for as long as I can.
It's Samson.
So
You gotta go Samson. Yeah.
No, Mr. Sage is very much like Andy in that the minute his hair gets above the prescribed, length, it's immediately cut. He goes for haircuts every 2 weeks. So, this would bother him to no end. So, much like most of the people watching. Thank you, Ed, for doing your job.
Thank you, sir. You're the best, sir.
There we go. Now he's into it. The coffee's kicking in.
Absolutely.
Eddie, is this the longest we've seen him without looking like he's about to fall asleep?
I mean, it's like it's not even him.
It's coffee.
And the 3 Ps. We like that.
Yeah.
All right,
3 Ps.
Miami, we know that's coming up. We'll talk about that in a second. One last comment around it. Next show, September 1st, the Monday after the Miami game, we'll be back. We'll likely have a guest or two. We'll talk about that and hopefully talk about a Notre Dame win. After that, we will be likely going every Sunday night, 7:30 after games. Interesting thing is that I'm working with JP, and he's going to see what he can do about maybe taping some live spots or taping some recorded spots from the game or after the game to have some sort of Miami on-site perspective for the next podcast. So we're going to see what that looks like. It involves a live mic, Guerrero, O'Neill, and a few others. It might not make it here, but we're going to give that a shot. So again, please, like, share, bother someone to subscribe so that we can get to 500. A delight, gentlemen. A delight to see you again. Thank you for this. Excited for the game. Excited for the season to get going. It is not lost on me how grateful we all are for this. I can remember 5 or 6 years ago, COVID and some other stuff going on, just thinking, can I just make one more year? Just one more year, one more college football year. And every time it rolls around, I'm just so grateful for this wonderful thing and the wonderful thing we all get to share together. So love you guys.
And just following up on that, how about the fact that we're debating over 11-1, 10-2, and 9-3 instead of we can name a few coaches a few years back where, first of all, no one would be listening, and second, we'd be like, I got 5-7. What do you got? Like just like just the joy that last season brought us and allowed us, a lot of us, to get together at different points in time in different locations. What a blessing it was, and hopefully we'll be riding that train again.
Let me just make a comment on that. I was talking to JP about that today, and we said, isn't it great to be in a space where we're not just in for conversation, but we're in the mix. We're there. It's not like, oh, goodness, if we get lucky and win 10 or 11 and they let us in. And like in the Alabama game, remember 2012, I thought, if we can have a 47-minute possession, we might win this game. So there's none of that. We belong here, and we have the opportunity to win. We're there. And that's so exciting. It's a fun era to be a Notre Dame fan in right now. So
we changed the narrative for sure. Change the narrative.
Yeah, and God love Coach Free. Thank you to him. I mean, we're just so lucky to have what we have right now. So it's really cool. Gentlemen, enjoy the week. Enjoy the game. I'm sure we'll talk beforehand, but and to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in and putting up with the silliness. We appreciate it. And go Irish, everyone.
Go Irish.
Go Irish.
Take care, you guys. Good. Go Irish.